It is Monday, the 26th of November 2018. I'm your host, RichTheMan, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more Marvel Contest of Champions related content, including the news, coming at you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Get subscribed and get post notifications on, because we're back and we're covering the news in the community. And as you can see, we've got a fresher attitude, we've got a fresher look. Look at all that news. There's news. It's unbelievable! And without further ado, let's jump into things. Our first bit of news, and trying to keep things as fresh as possible, I've gone back to a few people that have copied me in a few notifications. And the first one being this one, an opinion poll about Kabam. It's kind of weird that the person that posted this has actually been banned from the forum, so kind of weird. It's just an opinion poll of thoughts about Kabam. It's kind of odd when you see these things, but it's nice to get a good gauge as how the community are feeling. And even though that we've got a Cyber Monday offer, which we'll talk about in a moment, it is still interesting to see these things. The sections that you could choose for are either Kabam is doing well, meh, it's nothing impressive, nope, still same old Kabam, they are going to have to do a lot more to win me back, and finally, what's a Kabam? And I'll do you one better. Who's a Kabam? See? Yeah. People got that if you watched Infinity Wars, and if you didn't, then where the bloody hell have you been for the last year? Infinity Wars was a massive film, and you should get that reference. But the fact is, people have resoundingly voted in favour of Kabam is doing well, followed by nope, still old Kabam, which is still interesting to see the way that the community feels towards Kabam. Nowadays, if you did want to vote in the poll, I'll put a link in the description, but do bear in mind these opinion polls are taken with a pinch of salt. Our next story is Map 7 is coming to Alliance Quest, but not just yet, hold your horses. It is going into beta, or if you're at home in another country, beta. Because I know a lot of you seem to really like when I say things wrong. In my country, we say a beta. In other country, we say a beta. Comprendi? Understandi? Yes. And now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to say beta from now on. So Kabam are offering a beta test to those of a higher prestige. If you're 6,500 prestige or above, you will be given an opportunity to beta test this, and hopefully you'll give some and get some idea of decent feedback from this. It'll be quite exciting to see how this plays out, the difficulty and also the rewards that come with it, what kind of thresholds it's going to push certain alliances, and at the same time, would it improve divides so that better rewards for lower tiers are able to be got more. Obviously rising to map 6, what are the experiences with this, what is the cost? There's a lot of questions that the community has, and especially the amount of time that we get, which is up to the 10th of December 2018. Or more, 10th of December to the 14th of December. It's my first news back. I'm entitled to a doozy. And Kabam's final point is that remember that you cannot take the stuff that you've earned from that beta experience and take it over to your normal account. That's just plain naughty. Our next story is all about Alliance Wars Seasons. Some people really like Alliance Wars Seasons. I could take it or leave it, and I think that's just because having a full-time job and then doing YouTube and then not having enough time to do other content, having extensive arena grinding, blah 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 blah, I'm going on. But the main thing to really say is that the start point for the next Alliance Wars season is the 5th of December 2018. As you know, we don't have quite so much of a break now between the point of a season ending and the next season starting. So we only get a week off and then it's back into the next season, which kind of puts us into the December grind, and when we've also got our grind of the season for Christmas. And Christmas always comes at a nice time. Cyber Monday's just finished, then we get some decent content or new content in game. We get a nice little break around the holidays. And at the same time, we got the gifting event, because that always comes about, and it's nice to then see a lot of people kind of exchanging stuff. But that's next month, and we'll focus on that next month. The great thing to say is Seasons is coming to an end, and the next one is right around the corner. The next story brings us in game, and we have had the Cyber Monday offers put in. Very mixed reactions, kind of steadily going towards the positive. People are quite impressed with certain aspects. Especially this one here, the £50 one, $50, whatever it is, $48.99, whatever it is in your country. This has been the one that has sparked some interest because of the amount of tier 2 alphas and as well the little kicker of the 5-star shards as well. Now there will be those that have an extensive amount of criticism on these particular deals, and the thing to really say is if you are in the market to buy some units, these are added extras to that. Like I just want to reiterate that again. If you are in the market for units, it's a good time to buy based on what you get back as well. Some people may say, oh, there's no point to buying this, but if you're going to buy units anyway, then you might as well get something extra for it. And whether or not the added extra is of value to yourself, it's at your own leisure to be buying into the game or not. You can go too extensive, and that's one criticism that I would say. Because these things have a limit of 3, I do find that it's very much encouraging people to buy more than would normally be a thing. Prior to a lot of these kind of limits being put in, it used to be a case you could only get the deal once, which I think in some ways was good and helped those that maybe are gambling, or maybe addicts, that would buy into stuff like this more. If you're going to just, like I said, buy just the once, you want to buy units, then it's a good time to buy it based on the added extras that you have. I've had my birthday recently, so I asked for Google Play cards, because what I do is I'd then be making content. So it's a case that it's helping me help to make content. But at the same time, if you want to grind out stuff in the game and also improve your roster, and you've got some Google Play cards, then it's a good opportunity to use it. And I'd say the same for Christmas. If you're thinking about an idea to get someone, or maybe you know they play a game, or your parents are asking you what to get you for Christmas, then say, well, could I have a Google Play card? I'll just use it on the game, rather than spending a lot of your money. But it's up to you, your life, your choice, your money, your rules. Have a good one. Next up, let's talk about next month's characters. So this was dropped here. So this is Otrux and Marvel Contest of Champions Drukos putting something together to kind of let us know what is coming in next month. And we've got Dark Hawk, and also we've got Night Thrasher. And I know what you're thinking, well, who are these characters? And it does seem that these are like characters that, you know, aren't the most popular, aren't the most well known, but at the same time, if Kabam could put a nice little spin on them, then it does put excitement around certain champions and new characters, which could be really positive for the game and also comic book fans alike. I'll be covering these in a future video and seeing if we can dig up some decent comic book history to then give you an idea of who these characters are and what kind of abilities they may possess. But it doesn't stop there. They've also data mined information on the title as well as what's going on in January. So as you can see in December, the event quest is called Night Riders, not with Hoff or Prof Hoff, or the Knight Rider car called Kit. There's also this interesting mention here in This Man, This Monster. And it's kind of weird because if you saw a post that I did on Twitter, I had a little joke because a character that was in the motion comic for Aegon looked really similar to the Thing, as in this image here. And like, I had a good joke about it, so I thought, oh, ha ha ha, very funny, yeah, it looks similar to it. Nothing could really happen. Well, with the announcement that it's This Man, This Monster in kind of conjunction potentially to the Thing being put in, it has started making me kind of like question a few things and going like, well, were Kabam trying to drop hints in the last motion comic to say who is coming into the game? And obviously, as you know, there's been some productive talks, and I think the deal has actually gone through now with Disney owning the rights to the characters like Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, Deadpool, X-Men, the list goes on. In a case you could bring them all together, and especially from the point of then shipping out stuff with rights, copyrights and license rights to these Marvel characters. So that could be really exciting to see these characters being used in games associated with Marvel games, because before it was a case of, oh well, if Fox licensed something then they're able to use it in games. Oh, if this kind of game we're able to use it, no they can't because it's under so much scrutiny and so much legislation. But now that could change, and this may be the point that games that you like that are Marvel related will start having characters like Fantastic Four characters, like proper Deadpools and proper other characters as well. Or we've got it completely wrong and I'll just look like a complete fool when this comes to be released. But either way, January will tell the tale of sadness and woe, or success and jubilation. And our final story is about arena cutoffs. And as you know, Aegon has been a lot more popular than a lot of champions that have been put into the game. Here's complete amazing use has been echoed through lots of different content. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab the champion as lots of things going on. If you watched the previous video, you'll know. But the fact is, he actually went a lot higher. It's hard to get the amount that he went for as a cutoff, as a lowest cutoff point, but we found information on that. Following some early reports, it did seem that he went for anything between about 70 and 75 mil. I would probably say that it's best to go with the latter. With this going for 75, it would be no surprise to see him go for anything around about 74 to 75 mil flat. So it's an incredible grind. People have really gone full ham for him for the 5-star, and there is good reason why. It's a great champion. The 4-star, I've seen reports of him going for about 15.7, and I'd probably say this is then echoed into round 2. If you're going for about 75, then possible, and as well, when the 4-star going for anything over than 15.5 will probably get you the champion. It is quite scary, but are we going to see another round 2 of Corvus Glaive when he went for about 15 mil? Because people were so scared of the grind that I'd have to do in order to get said champion. It's difficult to play that risk. We'll only know when it comes to Thursday how that ended up charting. And if you're thinking of picking up a cheeky little Hulkbuster, I've seen reports of him going for anything about 1.8 mil. So if you want him, go for him. Now that has been your Marvel Contest of Champions news. Hopefully it looks a bit better than it did. I have got rid of the old intro because it just took too much of a time. It was too long. And there are a few other improvements I want to make. Each day that I release Marvel Contest of Champions news, on the Monday, Wednesday and Friday, there's going to be different aspects. So I'm going to add things like on Friday is going to be about being fun. There will be core news stuff that we'll cover, but also aspects of fun in the community. There'll also be recruitment drives. So I'll be putting up information about different alliances that are looking for different people and the types of requirements that they have. In one day of the week, I will be having a video of the day, and that'll be a regular feature which will showcase things in the community which I think are quite good, and especially with me pushing my channel a bit more full time, which will be coming next year. That's what I really want to do, is allow this as a proper community-based news. So these articles are then put up for people that are helping them out, whether or not it's strategy and tips, it's all about other creators that are making amazing content, as well as like helpful things with recruitment. The list is going to be endless with what I want Marvel Contest of Champions news to do and to help out. I've also talked about the idea of having a regular feature with Prof Hoff within the news, so whether or not we'd have a discussion point, or maybe we'll turn it into a podcast. That could be a really exciting thing for 2019, as I had a chat with Prof Hoff last week, and it was nice to get a real understanding for him as a person, understand his background and what he wants to achieve, because, you know, I've got a lot of time for creators as well as people in amongst my day job, but, you know, you can't for everything. In any case, I've talked too much. Hopefully you've enjoyed the news, and hopefully you enjoy the news and changes and improvements that are coming in the future. I've been Rich the Man. I thank you for watching, and as always, subscribe, like, share, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.